What's up, guys? It's Kara Corey here from Kara Corey Fit Life. Today we've got another great recipe for you. I am going to do one of my donut recipes. I've done a couple of these in the past, but this recipe is going to require some type of donut pan. This was very cheap. I think I got this for like 10 bucks. I can't remember, at Bed Bath & Beyond, I believe. You can order them off Amazon. Real easy. You should grab yourself one because this is a game changer for those of you that love donuts. For me, they are my absolute favorite go-to if I want like a cheap food or, not worry about my diet. But you can very easily make a healthier version of protein donuts. So first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven at 350 degrees, and then we're going to spray our donut pan. And today what I'm going to be cooking is a chocolate lover's protein donut. So not a huge fan of this coconut oil spray. Not sure how you guys feel about it, but I'm kind of disappointed in it. It kind of sucks, so I would not recommend that so much. But we're going to set our pan aside. And to get started in my bowl, the first thing we're going to use for these donuts, I am going to choose to use the MTS Cookies and Cream Whey. You guys could sub out another chocolatey flavor if you'd like, but I think this is going to really give it that like delicious kind of like cookie cake type flavor. So, man, I normally try to find my scoop before we start the video, but I'm going to go diving for it right now. It's down in there. Try not to make a mess here. We're going to use one full scoop. Don't be scared to heap that baby just a little if you need to. It's not going to hurt anything. So one full scoop of cookies and cream. Let's set that aside. Hands are a little whey protein-ish. For flour, I'm just going to use the coconut flour. I prefer this. A lot of people ask why I use coconut flour versus another flour. Coconut flour to me bakes exceptionally well. It helps kind of fluff things up. And it also just naturally has a nice sweet flavor because all it truly is ground up coconut. So I'm actually going to weigh this, and I'm going to use 10 grams of it. Ends up being about a tablespoon, but I do like to weigh it just to be safe. You don't want to go too overboard on it. Okay, 11 grams. Oh, 10 grams. Perfect, on the money. All right, so 10 grams of our coconut flour. And if you want, you can certainly sub in a different type of flour. They'll still turn out good if you want to use like a coconut, if you want to use like a whole wheat flour, oat flour, anything like that, you can certainly sub that in. Okay, next, to make it extra chocolatey, I am going to use some unsweetened baking cocoa. I really prefer the dark, so if you have the dark unsweetened, use that, but this is all I actually have right now. So we're going to do 25 grams of our baking cocoa. It's going to end up being like probably 2.5 tablespoons or so. Again, more is not better when it comes to the cocoa because it really does kind of give it a little bit of a bitter flavor. So you don't want to go overboard. Close enough. Close enough. Okay. Next, I am going to add in a little bit of sweetener. I'm going to add in some Splenda, which I forgot to get out. I'm going to grab that now. And I'm going to add in a tablespoon of Splenda. I'm going to leave it by my side just in case I need to make it a little bit sweeter after. Probably won't because the other ingredient we are going to add is some of the sugar-free, fat-free Jell-O pudding mix. So these are great to have on hand for baking recipes. You can add them in and they really do add a nice flavor. And I'm going to add 10 grams of this to it as well. Should be about a tablespoon, a little bit more, a little bit more, and just a little bit more. Okay. Good. All right. And last thing we're going to add for dry ingredients, baking powder. That's going to help our product rise. So I'm going to add 1 full teaspoon of our baking powder. Okay. So now we've got all our dry goods here. I'm just going to mix them around real quick. And then it's optional, up to you guys, if you want to use water or you could use some type of milk. Don't really have a set amount we're going to add here. You just want to add enough liquid to it that you get the product to like a brownie batter type consistency. So I'm gonna add some cashew milk to it, and I just poured some in here, and I'm just gonna add it slow, add a little bit of it at a time, and mix that around. I don't want it too liquidy, so I'd suggest you add a little bit less and stir it around first and see what you're working with. I think I still might need to add a little bit more. Oh, it smells delicious. Now that it's kind of turning into a batter, it smells like brownie batter, which I ain't mad about. Now just a little bit more of this drop here. This recipe is gonna make 6 protein donuts. So the beauty about these is they're super macro friendly. So if you wanna sit down and eat 3 donuts, you don't have to feel bad about it. So this truly, I mean, you guys know what like brownie, like the brownie box mix batter looks like. This is what it smells like. I am gonna take just a little tiny taste on the outside. Wanna make sure it's sweet enough. I'm gonna add 1 more tablespoon of Splenda to it. You are gonna wanna adjust for sweetness because that baking cocoa can make it not as sweet, to be honest. I'm gonna throw 1 more tablespoon in there and then taste test it again. We should be good to get this into our pan. Perfect. Seriously tastes like brownie batter mix out of that box mix. So take your pan. We're just gonna go ahead and simply add our batter. You want it like halfway full. The only thing about the donut pan is a little bit of a bitch to evenly spread this. So I'm not gonna make you guys painfully watch this, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the batter spread into each of my 6 little donut slots here. And then I'm gonna put it in the oven, like I said, 350 degrees to bake for about 10 minutes or so. We will see you guys when it's all done. All right guys, we're back. 10 minutes was perfect in the oven to properly cook the protein donuts. They smell and look delicious. They come out all sweet and cute looking. I think 10 minutes was perfect because it gave them like a nice little crisp on the outside, but they're still nice and soft. So from here, what you can do is totally up to you. To make it super chocolatey, what I've done is, again, use my gourmet cookies and cream. I took like 3/4 of a scoop of that and just added some water in a bowl with it. You gotta be careful and add it slow so that it's nice and like frosting like. You don't want it to be too watery. So I've got my protein frosting set aside in a bowl, and then toppings are optional. I would love to do some like crushed Oreos on this, but a more macro friendly option would be some of these Cocoa Pebbles that we have here, extra chocolatey. So these are a great substitute. You can definitely eat more of these than you could for Oreos. So all I'm gonna do is go ahead, take my donut. I'm gonna go ahead and just like swirl it in my protein frosting. It comes out pretty perfect by swirling it. And then I'm going to dip it in my Cocoa Krispies. I'm gonna get a little more on there. And there you go. So we're gonna go ahead and do these. You guys could certainly like switch it up. You could do some different toppings. Maybe you don't want like the same stuff on every donut, but yeah, you can add pretty much anything. You don't need like a lot for a topping to kind of add like a nice texture to it, another flavor, and not make it that much higher in macro. So those are just options for you. This is a very simple recipe. Most of these ingredients you should have on hand. They're pretty staple in my household. I hope you guys liked it. Only 10 minutes to your delicious chocolatey protein donut. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to head over to my channel and subscribe. And be sure to get all your Tiger Fitness needs like this delicious cookies and cream protein at tigerfitness.com. We've got the link in the description box below. We'll see you in the next one. 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 tigerfitness.com. We've got the tigerfitness.com. We've got the tigerfitness.com. We've got the box below. We'll see you in the next one. See you in the